Credit Oklahoma State. They beat us today, and we didn't play our best game today, and they beat us at the line of scrimmage. And we fought in the second half and did some better things finally on defense in the second half to slow them down, but we just couldn't penetrate them and couldn't get enough things going offensively. I told the guys at the in the locker room at the end of the day, I really firmly believe we have a good football team, and we didn't play well enough today, and we didn't coach well enough today. We've got to come up with better schemes and better plans on both sides of the ball, but we've got to execute as well. And today they got us, and we got to go back to work. And it's a long season with an awful lot of opportunities in front of us. And if we learn from this and continue to improve, we've got a chance to be okay. But adversity has struck us for the first time this year, and that's reality. And how do you respond when adversity strikes? And so I'm confident that the leadership on our guys will respond to the adversity, and we can't sulk on it. We got to get ready to play OU next week.
Did Will get hurt there?
Yeah, he did. He got hurt in the first half and couldn't go anymore in the first half. And then halftime, they did some things to work on him and tried to go in the second half, and he just couldn't. And he couldn't run the way that he needed to run. And obviously, in that first series, you saw we were able to get some quarterback run game going. And so when we lost Will, it really kind of took some of the play calling that Mess was wanting to do away, because that's Will's forte, and it's not as much Jaron, and so we lost him in the second half then too.
What happened with the defense in the first half?
Oh boy, that's a good question, Fitz. We didn't tackle, we didn't get off blocks, and credit the running back's a good player. There's no question about that, but we were a step slow. We couldn't get our footing. We couldn't slow the game down enough, whatever you want to say, and we just couldn't get a stop. And it was frustrating, because then you see what we do at halftime, and we made some adjustments. We were making some adjustments in the first half and weren't having any success. And all of a sudden we were able to sit down as a staff, make some adjustments. I thought we played pretty well the second half. They got a few plays on us, but they're going to. That's a good football team. But really frustrating the way we played in the first half defensively.
What were they able to exploit with their screen passes?
It's a good play for them. We talked about it a bunch, and the first play of the game, we could have told you it was going to be screen, and we don't communicate it probably well enough out there, and they crack our linebacker, and we're in man coverage, and then we've got to tackle, and we didn't do a good job tackling, and they hit us on a few screens, and we have to do a better job of defending those.
I know there's a lot that goes into the targeting penalties, but you've got one guy who's been called for two. How do you respond to that?
Well, we've got to clean it up for sure, because I didn't see the replay well enough to say if this one was, but obviously it was. So Daniel's got to lower his target, and he's got to keep his eyes up. Bottom line, and we can't afford to lose Daniel Green. He's too good a football player, and that's 2 games out of 4 that. We've lost him for a half. Now, fortunately, we get him back for next week. But and Nick Allen played really well. Daniel's got to change his game a little bit.
What did you think of Jaron and his extended action at QB?
Did some good things. Did some things that, the one pick he probably should have thrown away, because we had a chance to get a field goal or at least points there. We weren't getting a bunch of guys wide open, so there were some tight windows. They were rushing the passer really well. And so he did some good things. But yeah, it's a great learning experience for him. We were hoping that we would be able to play 2 quarterbacks, and for the most part, we had to just keep Jaron in there. So it's a great learning experience to watch the film.
Obviously, the fumbled snap was enormous, but was it more than just points? Did it really kind of swing this game to their way?
It probably did, Fitz. It was a critical play, and we probably should have stayed in the end zone and not returned it, but we just returned 100 yards, so you can't fault that for saying, man, we've got something going, maybe we can get another play. But we didn't, and they did a nice job tackling us, and I couldn't tell you right now if it was a poor snap, if Will should have got it. I didn't get it good enough, and I didn't see the replay of it. But bottom line, we can't give them a free 7 points because we're chasing that 7 points the whole night. And if it's 24-20, maybe it's not a different game, but maybe we have a better opportunity with some late drives.
With Daniel Green out of the game in the second half, the defense still stood up and made plays. What was the defensive success attributed to today in the second half?
Yeah, I thought our defensive line played much better in the second half than we did in the first half. We got off blocks. I thought our linebackers and skill kids in the secondary were able to get off blocks and make some tackles. It's a good running back we faced. And their game started off being a lot of naked bootlegs, trying to get Sanders going, and they got him going, and that was what we couldn't have, is having Sanders get some life and get some confidence, and when he did, then he was really tough today.
Looked like Skyler was able to throw and warm ups a little bit. Is he still progressing?
He's progressing. We wanted him to go out there and throw it around, but it's not his arm that's hurting, So yeah, we'll see where he's at in the coming weeks.
Outside of the one return from Malik that only got to the 7-yard line, I mean, didn't you feel like special teams was a strength today?
Yeah, I thought Ty kicked the ball exceptionally well, punted the ball really well. We had the big return. Tayton had a couple of big field goals. We had one poor kick return, or kickoff coverage, I'm sorry, that we've got to shore up, but I thought our coverage was much better, and we punted the ball well.
And with the 295-yard first half, does that put a little bit of a dent in your defense's confidence?
Well, if it did, we got confidence right back because we played really well in the second half. So, but you got to play for 4 quarters, and they did a nice job against us in the first half, and we made some adjustments. And we got to keep learning and see how people are attacking us. I mean, no, I don't think it affected our confidence because we came out in the second half, played pretty dang well.
And you went to a 4-man front just for a couple of plays?
We
Was
did.
there any thought to secure
No,
that?
just wanted to be able to do both. Plus, we were down a linebacker, so then we put another defensive lineman in. But it's, like I told you guys, we've been playing a little bit of both anyway, and the kids feel comfortable in both the 4 and 3 men.
I know you're playing from behind, and obviously you didn't have Will, but is it still discouraging to look down and see just 62 rushing yards?
Yeah, very, very disappointing to see 62 rushing yards, and they were going to stack the box and try to stop, the quarterback run with Will, and then we lost Will, and then obviously Deuce, and then they just wanted to play some tight man coverage and put good pressure on the quarterback, and we just didn't have guys running clean and running free, and so made it difficult when they're rushing the passer and playing tight man.
With Reggie and Bebe not being here, how big a loss was that for both sides?
Big. We lost them both in the Nevada game, and hopefully we'll get them back in the near future. But yeah, we lost those 2 guys. We lost Khalid. There's 3 really good players that didn't make the trip. That we hope to have them back, at least those 2 in time. But I'm not sure their status right now.
Anything else?
Concerns about the offense?
Yeah, we've got to be better. We rushed the football last week exceptionally well, and then it sets up everything else. And so when we're not able to rush the football, we've got to design some things, whether it's spreading people out to whatever, to get some easier throws and get people open. And so absolutely, we've got to be better. And that's the first thing I told the guys. We as coaches got to be better. We've got to be better as coaches designing some things to get the guys some easier throws.
I guess specifically I want to follow up on Howard. You were just asked mainly about his health, but how did you feel like he did before, I guess, these injuries started?
Well, I thought he did some really good things. He had a great first drive, and I thought he put a couple balls that had an opportunity for 50-50 catches, and maybe we get 7 there. And their guy made a couple good plays, but I thought Will saw the field well, had good confidence, and had a couple, that drive, whatever it was, 13 plays, and then it was in that drive that he got hit. And then all of a sudden, he just couldn't get back out there.
Time for one more, if any? Do you have any guess on when Skyler might be back?
I do not. I don't. I mean, like I said, he can throw it. We've got to make sure he can run before he can play. And I don't know if that's 2 weeks. I don't know if that's the open week. I don't know if that's 3 weeks. We'll keep progressing.
Okay, thanks all.
Okay, thanks, guys.